Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. An Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of the show, over 25 years teaching people just like you how to trade and invest. We were just talking about the different trading and income strategies for people that want to have an income strategy during their working years or even during retirement, so that way you're not drawing down those retirements. We're going to talk about the wealth side of things here on this next segment, your retirement accounts, 401ks, and IRAs. But if you did miss seats for that investing class, we were looking for 20 people here in the metro area that want to change their financial situation. You can text in right now for a free investing class to get started with that. Text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that's for 2 seats for this class. Text investing to the number 210-210. What's covered in this class is we talk through how the market functions, which we talked about in the first segment. The institutions, they're moving the markets, the banks, the big monies in the world, the Buffetts of the world. Then we talk about how can we capitalize on that? How do we trade like them? We get into the different assets as we progress in that class as far as futures, forex, and options, especially those retirement strategies, which we'll talk about next is what we cover in those investing classes. So we're looking for 20 people to text in right now that want to change their financial situation. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for this class. So, Al, we do want to get into the retirement side of things here, the 401k and the IRA. And I've been having a lot of conversations with people that have 401ks, especially 401ks, but even have IRAs, say with a money manager or a broker or advisor or whoever that person is. And they don't know the opportunities or the things that you can do with them, what you have access to. Because you got to think about this, Al. Mm-hmm. This is your money. Most people that have a 401k and IRA, they work all their life, or say you're still in that building phase, and you're putting money in an account hoping that you have enough to retire. And if you ever talk to anybody in your relatives, family members, people, even watch TV and hear, the majority of people are struggling to retire. But if everybody has that 401k and it's supposed to get you there and it's not, there's some sort of disconnect there. So people feel that they don't have access to that money, which you actually do. We'll cover that here maybe in the next segment. But we have a lot of listeners that are like, I just want to have a better conversation with my broker. I need to have a better conversation with my advisor. I just need to know more about that. So hopefully I can guide them better to make those decisions for me. So on this part here, Al, explain why so many people are coming to the academy, especially that have 401ks and IRAs. And sometimes they're just coming in to understand what's in there, but just to be able to have a better conversation with their broker or advisor.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know what's in their 401ks. They might have at one time when they set it up, looked at a slew of things that they have access to and maybe put something together. But if you really ask people what's in their 401ks, they probably don't know, or they might say, well, I have this target dated fund, but they don't really know what the components of it are. So you can't really have the opportunity to have any kind of management of that portfolio, first of all, if you don't know what it is. And people have just become accustomed to the fact that this is what they have to rely on. It used to be, there was a three-legged stool, what we call a three-legged stool in retirement. One was the money from a pension that you got, and the other was Social Security, and the third was your retirement savings. Now, for most people, one of those legs is gone. That's the pension. Most people don't get a pension. Social Security, that leg is fairly shaky right now. The only one you really have control over is your retirement savings, but most people don't take advantage of what they could. They put the money in a 401k, and then they basically cross their fingers, hope it works, because they have been conditioned to believe that that's the way that you become wealthy. What we're finding now are a couple things. Number one, what used to be an adequate amount of money in retirement no longer is. Most people think, like, if I have $1 million, I'm in great shape.
That's that dollar amount, I think, that people think they're rich with, because you get people that are, anybody that's probably over 40 thinks that $1 million is a lot. It's not.
Yeah. Well, if you're drawing down from that and you use what Wall Street has kind of pushed out there as a 4% rule, they say if you take out 4% of your retirement money, you'll be fine. Well, that's only $40,000 on a $1 million portfolio. number one, people that have that kind of money typically have a higher standard of living to begin with, so that means taking a step down. But $1 million isn't what it used to be. Right now people are looking at $1,250,000 or $1.5 million is what's necessary to retire. Now, here's the thing that I think is interesting, Josh. The 401ks last year in 2022, the average 401k was down over 20%, around 25%. This year, more people, 40% more people are putting money into their retirement accounts. And what are they putting it into? They're putting it into the same vehicle that cost them 25% of what they had last year. There are things that you can do outside of a 401k. There's even things you can do within a 401k. We'll talk to you about that in these classes. But you have access to things that will allow you to trade and invest in many more things than you have access to in a 401k. But here's the important thing. Number one, there are no fees involved, and you can have protection. In a 401k, the things that typically the professionals do and the institutions do to protect their money isn't available to you in a 401k. So you really have limited ability to protect yourself from that downside. There are things you can do. We'll talk about that in these classes, but probably the best thing to do, instead of putting more money in the 401k, if you have reached the max. So if your employer matches part of what you put into it, that's free money. That's what you want to take advantage of. But once you reach that point, then you're putting money into something that, again, cost you 25% last year. Maybe gets you 4, 5, maybe 6% on an annual average basis, but you are 100% exposed to bear markets, to drawdowns of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%.
Yeah, let's just explain the thought process there. And here's what people are thinking right now. So if you're listening right now, you probably have had this thought in the past. I'm putting my money, away every 2 weeks, and I'm saving, and my broker or advisor, my 401k, they're investing it for me, and they're taking care of me. And then I feel okay if they make me a little bit of money, but if they lose me money, well, that's, there's nothing I can do about that. You can do something about that, and don't be conditioned that you can't.
Right.
And that's what we're seeing more and more people understand and realize. That's your money. Why just let a stranger, even though they might send you a card, once a year, or say, nice things that we're projected to do this and projected to do that? Well, tell you what, I bet those projections has changed drastically, because if you're seeing down markets, what they're going off of is a annual rate of return. But you have to, in order for that to work, you have to either start your retirement savings at the very bottom, put all your money in that you have, will ever make at that time,
right,
and then retire when the market's at the very top. And I don't know anybody that's ever done that. I actually would say that's impossible to do, because you're going to earn throughout your whole working year.
At the least improbable that will happen.
So during these classes that we've been talking about, these free investing classes, we're going to cover and dissect that 401k. What are some of the things that are in there? What are some of the opportunities that you have within them? We'll talk about those opportunities in the next segment, but we're seeing more people understand and know more about what to ask their broker, what to ask their advisor, and really challenge them. Right. Because if you have money with a stranger, they're just selling you mutual funds, which we haven't even covered the crazy fees that come along with them. But if you're losing money in a down market and you're okay with that, well, that's a you problem. But if you do something about it, now things change. So that's why I want to invite people to this investing class that have these 401ks, that have these IRAs, and they just want to have a better conversation with a broker. They may not even want to do it. Fine. At least know what your money manager can do for you, rather than just sit there and hope. Because, Al, is hope a strategy?
Not a strategy.
Not the last time I checked. So if you want to come to one of these investing classes, we're looking for 20 people that want to have a better conversation with their broker, a better conversation with their advisor. And if you have different goals or aspirations, it takes a little bit of initiative. Just text in for these free classes. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing right now to the number 210-210. When you do that, you'll get an automatic text right back. It'll ask you for a day that works best on your schedule. Everybody's busy, but there's always 2 hours that you can carve out to change your financial trajectory. So text the word investing to the number 210-210. respond back to the text on the day that works best on your schedule. But we'll make sure we'll get you a call because we want to see how were you hoping that we could help you. If you're looking for help with your 401k, let us know. We can kind of cater that class to the people that are coming into these classes. If you're looking for help with your IRA, or if you're looking to self-direct, like we'll talk about in the next segment, make sure to let us know so we can cater these classes to the people coming in now. So text the word investing to the number 210-210, and we're looking for 20 people that want to just basically have a better conversation with their broker. Al, we got one more segment to go, and I do want to cover self-directing. We know people want to have a better conversation, but we do have a lot of listeners that want to be able to do it themselves. Mm-hmm. And you can do it yourself. You just haven't been taught how to do that. So let's cover the techniques and concepts on to direct your own 401k or IRA, protect your portfolio, but also strategies to profit in these down markets. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We'll be right back.